Hi everyone, it's Jolene here. Welcome back. So glad that you've joined me again. Today is Friday, which means it's the weekend, and I am so excited because August 9th, Sunday, is Book Lovers Day. In my opinion, that means that we should be having a holiday, but I'm just really excited that there is something to celebrate people who love books of all different ages. I believe that the love of reading is nourished from, if we're lucky, from a very early age. So I know for me, we always had books in my house. My father was always reading, whether it was the newspaper, a magazine, or a book. And I was taught very early on that books are knowledge and that they're important and that they're fun and that they can be entertaining. So what I thought I would do to celebrate Book Lovers Day is I would talk about books and resources that would be important for all ages from 2 years old to 102 years old. So I'm going to start with a new resource for me. It's called ABC Mouse, and it is for young people ages 2 to 8. And as you know, we are trying to figure out how students can go back to school and whether that will be online or in person and what that looks like. They offer more than 2,000 books, songs, puzzles, music, and different activities for anything from reading, math, science, social studies, art, and music. So they're a fantastic resource to have. I'm going to leave in the description below some links to their website, and you can get the first month free, or you can get 2 months for $5. So it's a great deal to try out, and it's something a little bit different for your kids, and maybe something a little bit different for you too, and you're not having to recreate the wheel. So hopefully that's a good resource for some of you out there. So for 8 to 14-year-olds, I have 2 recommendations, and really I'm saying to 14, but these resources are still books that I still love and they're important. So for really any age, but I know that I fell in love with these books when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. So the first one that I want to share with you is Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This is a classic story. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live forever? This book allows us to imagine what that would be like. The Tuck family try to live as inconspicuously as possible, but Winnie comes upon their secret and magic spring. So the Tuck family have to explain to her whether it is a blessing or is it a curse to live forever. Or maybe there are people out there who also just want to make money off of this spring water. This is just a delightful book. It's a book that I loved as a child and has always stayed with me. It's a book that I love even now, and I still recommend it, as I am to you. The second book I want to share for 8 to 14-year-olds is The Secret Garden. Another classic, another one of my favorites. I have many different editions of this one, but I wanted to share this one with you because it is one of my favorites. It is interactive and it has illustrations, and I will show you some pictures of what that looks like. In this story, Mary Lennox comes to England to live with her uncle after both her parents die. At first she's like whiny and stubborn and rude, and we also find out that she's smart and curious and a brave girl who finds a hidden garden. And as the garden transforms, so does Mary and all the lives of those around her. This is just a beautiful story. This edition helps to make the story come alive and adds to the magical elements of the story. It's a stunning and great gift for any book collector. And if The Secret Garden isn't your choice, there are also editions of Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and others. So I will put the links for those below in the description as well. So now we're getting into YA, and I would say for 15 plus, because again, a lot of young adult books are really appropriate for adults as well. I'm learning that more and more the more young adult books that I read, which is why I want to share this gem, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I adored this book. I adored Charlie. It's a quick book. It's not even 200 pages. The book is told by Charlie. He's writing letters to, we actually don't know who, but I'm assuming it's to the reader. And we get to see what it is like to be a teenager again. Now, it's very interesting because it takes place in the early 90s, which is in fact when I was in high school. So he makes reference to a lot of things that are nostalgic, mixtapes, some of the songs that are important to him and the bands that are important to him. It's how he is navigating through the life of a teenager, handling loss, mental health, how he is handling friendships, dating for the first time, all of that. And he just does it in such a beautiful way. He is such a compassionate and empathetic character. Charlie also loves books, and books play a key role in this. So if you have a teenager who, or you are a teenager who loves books and finding out about different books, Charlie reads several books throughout this story, which as a book lover I love because I always add more books to my TBR. So this would be a great choice. For adults, I have 4 different choices, and the first one is Reading Lolita in Tehran by Asar Nafizi. It is a memoir based on 2 years when she had 7 of her most committed young women in her class who really loved literature. They would meet at her home once a week, and they would talk about books that were forbidden. And as you read this, first of all, again, like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, there are other books talked about, James Joyce, I'm trying to think of some of the others. And somehow we learned a little bit about all of the young women in the group, and their lives are kind of intertwined with the stories that they are reading, and how these women in Tehran find ways that they can connect to literature. So it's really a story about how literature can empower others. If you're looking for a memoir, you're looking to learn about a different culture, this would be a fantastic read for a book lover. If you are a book lover who likes more of a mystery thriller kind of book, then I highly recommend Matthew Sullivan's Midnight at the Bright Ideas Bookstore. I loved this book. It surprised me. I picked this book up on a whim. I was told that it was good when I was checking out and paying for it. And it really was. Lydia works at the Bright Ideas Bookstore. The book starts with meeting her and some of the characters that come into the bookstore. One of them is Joey, who my heart just breaks for Joey. Joey commits suicide in the bookstore. Lydia finds out that there are clues that Joey has left for her, and we slowly find out what these clues mean as Lydia figures out the mystery. It was twisty. There was things I was not expecting. The writing is really well done. It's great writing, and I'm hoping to hear more from Matthew Sullivan because this is a really, really good one. And of course, it takes place in a bookstore and it's about books. So if you are a book lover and you like books that take place in a bookstore, this might be for you. Another adult pick that I absolutely adore is The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson. This book, whenever I think about it, it always brings a smile to my face. It is about a 100-year-old man. You don't have to be 100 years old to read this. This book is about Alan Carlson, who on his 100th birthday, he literally climbs out of a window of his nursing home and he goes on an adventure, and it is quite a charming book, and laugh out loud sometimes the things that he gets himself involved in. If this is something that you're looking for, something a little bit light, then this would definitely be the book for you. You get some of his backstory, but even some of the adventures he goes on are quite entertaining. The last book that I want to share is called The End of Your Life Book Club. I know it sounds depressing, but it really isn't. It is a memoir of the author Will Schwab. I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I think it's Schwab. And he talks about his mother who is going for cancer treatments. And eventually they start talking about all kinds of different things, one of them being, what are you reading? And at one point, they are both reading the same book. Now, if you're a book lover, you know how that feels when you find someone else who has read either your favorite book or you're reading the same book at the same time. It's very exciting. So they kind of end up starting their own little book club of 2. Kind of like for those of you who do buddy reads, it's like that. They do buddy reads and they ask some very important questions and talk about really important things. So it's an endearing book. It's a beautiful book of the relationship between a mother and a son. So I highly recommend this one as well. And of course, the reading books, so another list of books to add to my TBR after I read this one. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that I love the Once Upon a Book Club subscription box. So this is just a reminder that this is a great gift either for yourself or for another book lover in your life. I will show you some pictures of the boxes that we have received in the past. These are the last 3 months, and you can see what they look like. And then I will show you, this is one of the gifts that we received that I really liked. It's a makeup bag. It had some makeup brushes in it, which I've taken out because I actually needed some makeup brushes, so I was so grateful for this. I've received a blanket that I love. This is one of the mugs that I received in one of the last boxes. So there's always stuff that you can use. It just helps bring the story to life, and it's just a wonderful way to enjoy your books in a different way. So that is an option as well. Thanks again for checking out this video. If you like the content, please remember to subscribe, like, and put any comments down below, and I look forward to chatting with you there. Monday's video is going to offer some summer reads that we can sink our teeth into in the next few weeks before fall begins. I hope everyone enjoys Book Lovers Day on Sunday. Have a great weekend. The adventures await.